As we've been kind of doing some experimenting with figs, and one of the things that we wanted to kind of see if we can get away with doing a multi-harvest with figs in the low tunnel. Hey you guys, welcome back, and today we're in our low tunnel and I wanted to show you some of the things that we're growing in here. If you're not sure the difference between the high tunnel and the low tunnel, you've seen the high tunnel before. It's much bigger, much higher. This is a lot lower. We could still roll up the sides over here to get some ventilation in. We can also open up the back, but this is just something smaller you can easily do in your own backyard if you wanted to. And it's actually really nice because if you wanted to get a jump start on some tomatoes, early tomatoes, you would do extremely well with the low tunnel. So something to think about. Now, real quick, the varieties that we're growing in here are a couple of different varieties. We're growing some brown ones and some white ones. So I just kind of wanted to make sure that you guys see firsthand what we're growing and my kind of personal experience with how we've done so far. So let's take a closer look at the figs. Now this is I believe one of our brown figs, and sometimes it's really hard to tell what kind of fig you're growing, especially when they're green like that. But a good way to tell sometimes will be the actual leaf. This leaf is much different looking than this one over here, and I'm going to just show you the difference between that leaf. You can definitely tell that there's a pretty big difference in that. Now, in terms of how we did this summer, I have to say I was kind of disappointed because we lost the majority of the growth that we had the year before due to the freeze. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with 2013-14. We had a pretty big freeze here on the East Coast, and I would say everybody who had figs and rosemaries outside, they all died. So unfortunately, we lost, I don't want to say we lost all the figs, but all the growth that we had the previous year was gone. Now, the good thing is that because they are figs that are in the ground, they will restart up from the bottom. So, but the problem is with that is now you're starting from scratch. Last year we had a wonderful harvest. This year we're starting from scratch, but look at how tall this has gotten in just one summer. So figs are extremely vigorous and they will grow really nicely, really fast. And as you can see here, it's grown to the point where it's too tall for this low tunnel, so I will have to cut that down, which is not going to be a big deal. And that's what we do here in terms of these figs. We do have to cut them down. We have to keep them a certain height, and when you're doing it in your own home, you don't have to worry about that as long as you have no problem with getting up on a ladder. So now, if you don't like getting up on a ladder, then yeah, you have to cut them down, because I do have a neighbor of mine who's growing it next to his house, and he doesn't like dealing with it growing up too tall, so he cuts it down, keeps it pretty much, you know, about head level, makes it easier for him to harvest them. And one of the things I will mention, that when it comes to the figs, be careful with the birds, because they will eat all of them if you don't watch them. We made a mistake one time where we went on vacation for I think like 10 days. We came back and everything was gone, and we were like, man, somebody stole our figs. Somebody came in our yard and stole them. But no, it wasn't nobody stealing them. It was the birds. They came in there and just raided everything, and they don't leave anything. So I'm just looking on the floor. I'm like, well, if it was a bird, they probably left them. They dropped them on the floor. Nope. They don't leave anything to go to waste. They'll take it all and come back for more. So now again, the figs, as you can see all the way down here, we have quite a number of figs growing, and they're all doing really well. As you can see, some of them are hitting the top, and if you're growing this in your own house, one thing I would definitely say from experience, they love being up against the house and in full sun. They will do okay in shaded areas, but I would recommend getting them full sun just because they just thrive on that. They love being warm and they love being surrounded to some point, you know, up against the house, especially if they have like brick siding. Not everyone has brick siding, but we had ours in our old house up against the front house side of the house, and there was brick and it was really hot, so you had that extra heat bouncing off the brick, and the fig just seemed to just thrive on that. It was just growing. I think we had ours about 15 feet tall, and we had to use a ladder to get everything, but we were coming with like buckets of figs, and we made some fig, well, Kathy made some fig preserve, so man, it was so good. But yeah, again, if you're doing growing figs at home, they're super easy to grow. We live on a, you know, zone 7. They are, you know, versatile to different zones. Just check your area for your zoning as far as what, you know, best is grown in your area. But love figs. If you love them, definitely really good and easy thing to grow in terms of in your own yard. Just make sure you give them plenty of sun. Make sure you put them up, you know, next to your house so they do have that wind protection, and you should do fine. So that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to kind of show you a little bonus feature here in this low tunnel. Almost said high tunnel. And like I said before, we did grow tomatoes in here last spring, and they did pretty good. I was expecting a little bit better in terms of the production, but again, that freeze kind of messed things up. This didn't protect them enough, and I didn't make what I should have done was cover over top of those tomatoes with, I forget what you call it, but it's a material that actually just kind of gives them another protection. It's white. I can't remember. I don't know why I'm not thinking of that. But anyway, I might have to show you that on a separate video. But they do really good, and as long as you protect them, and they will thrive as far as the tomatoes go. So alright guys, that is it. So I hope you enjoyed this little fig tree video, and hope it gives you some ideas on what some of the things you can grow in your own house, and even make your own little low tunnel. So real simple to do. Alright, so that's it, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good day.